Hi friends, Andy Vegan. I'm making you tahini mayonnaise. Yeah, I made some tahini dressings. You can use sesame seeds, tahini, whatever you have at hand. Sesame seeds are this, yeah, and tahini is when you ground them. Sometimes they are roasted when you buy the tahini, but if you can get them raw, it's more expensive. Sesame seeds are the easiest way, but they have a little bit of bitter flavor. The seeds more than the tahini. Tahini in general tastes a little bit earth-like because there's a high amount of minerals in there, iron, calcium. That's why I recommend it every day. Not only because of that, but for many other benefits they have. So flax seeds, sesame seeds, they're very inexpensive, very available, and have benefits, huge benefits for many things. I recommend it definitely. You get your protein in there, you get your fat in there, you get a huge amount of minerals in there, very important. So it's a good way to make a salad dressings, because usually I take oil that was a long time ago, but then I heard about oil being empty calories. That means pure fat basically, yeah? And that means the body also does not know when it has eaten enough. With the pure oil, we want to have more and more. We have no limits, no natural feeling about that. But the sesame seeds, they have the oil and many other phytonutrients that tell the body when to stop. That's the good about whole food. Whole food have a lot of nutrients that are perfectly balanced for our body. Yeah? So that is a good reason to replace the oil with nuts and seeds in the dressings. But there are so many ways to make dressings with nuts and seeds, or fruit, like oranges, for example. It's also a good base for a dressing. So now I take the sesame seed. Yeah, I have made another nice recipes with tahini to make salad dressings, and you can look it up. Very versatile. It can even be used in sweet recipes, but that's another story. So now I take the sesame seeds here, a small amount, maybe 3-4 tablespoons, and I have an avocado. And that's of course a little bit fattier, more fat in avocado than sesame seeds. But when you make a mayonnaise, that means especially that's fat. Yeah? Mayonnaise has very much fat as opposed to regular dressings. But avocado has healthy fats. We know, very healthy, very recommended also. So avocado and sesame seeds are a nice combination. And because I said before, the sesame seeds have a slightly bitter flavor, you can pair that with apple cider vinegar. You can also take lemon, of course, but apple cider vinegar has a stronger flavor, and that's better to balance the bitter flavor of the sesame seeds, and it gives a very nice character for the mayonnaise. In the end, the mayonnaise has to be tasty, of course. Yeah. So we have now sesame seeds, avocado, and apple cider vinegar, the base of the mayonnaise. That's all we need. A little bit of water comes later. Now the special seasoning. What kind of flavor should my mayonnaise have? And that's a curry mayonnaise today. I love curry. One of my favorite recipes. I have different kinds of curry. This one has a beautiful color. It's hot. There's chili in there. There's salt in there. Black pepper is in there. But the color comes from the turmeric. That's maybe the healthiest spice we have. Turmeric is a root or tuber, and they have it in Indian cooking everywhere. Curry powder in itself is more a British invention. The curries, we know the curries, that's used to be an Indian dish with vegetables chopped up and steamed or something. But the curry powder, that's invented by the British. When they invaded India, they took over until Gandhi came and pushed them out non-violently. Our vegan hero. He wasn't vegan, but he wanted to, he couldn't be. That was before the science understood how you can healthily be vegan. Gandhi was the first, one of the first advocates for veganism, but prominently so, very well known. He himself didn't succeed. He had to eat animal products. He wanted rather to die, but his friends convinced him, "Oh, Gandhi, we need you. Please don't die in the hospital. Please eat animal products." And he said, okay, I'll do it. So that's a long story. It's a funny story, but now everybody can be vegan without any problem, because we know they have a science. So curry powder is not an Indian invention. It's British, but the turmeric, that is huge in India. So I put the curry powder in. And to make it more delicious, I add salt, Himalayan salt, garlic, and a date. This date is to nicely with the apple cider vinegar, and it is very sour, apple cider vinegar. I put a date in there to make it nicer, to balance a little bit the strong sour flavor, and also it's nice for the sesame seeds. It also balances the bitter flavor. So let's see what it works out. So garlic, salt, and the curry powder. Now your curry powder, you can take whatever you like. There are different kinds, I said, more hot, less hot, and so on and so on. Different ingredients, up to you. Mainly it's turmeric and some other things. So now I put the water in there, beginning with a cup. I can always add later, a little bit later. I have to blend anytime, second time anyway, because sesame seeds are seeds. They need a second blending. Blender dance. From the sound of the blender, but I might need a little bit more water. Yeah, it was a little bit struggling, the blender, and I see it is too firm, and that's also not good for the blending itself, for the creaminess, because it's with too little water. It's not good for the texture. And then the ingredients are not so well balanced together, and they're not unfold. Because of the texture, too gross, too fine, not even, and then it doesn't taste well. So a little bit more water, let's see. And by the way, I have my second blending now. Because when the sesame seeds are blended the first time without having been soaked before, soaking is not necessary mostly. It's mostly because of the flavor. It's another story. But if you do not blend it, soak it before you blend it, then they will soak after the first blending and pretty fast. And then when you blend it a second time, as I will do right now, it gets really nice and creamy. The first blending ends up a little bit gross sometimes, yeah. Then they soak a moment, maybe you can wait 5 minutes or so. Second blending, and you have it very creamy. And do it now quickly because I have a video here. Sounds a lot better now to me. Now let's taste it. I check the texture. Yeah, texture is nice. Might have another blending. Well, let's see what the flavor says. The taste buds, what they tell me. Oh, very good. Very good. But yes, a little bit more water. Oh, the flavor is outstanding. It's a nice sweetness. Oh, and the power is there. The warmth from the garlic and from the curry. Very nice. All playing nicely together. The salt, by the way, is also warming in the recipe. Can be very warming, the salt. I noticed that with a big surprise, but the salt can do a lot. One more blending. So many nice healthy ingredients here. It's not very inexpensive here, and such a nice dressing. And I would have a pre-made dressing now. Yeah, that's okay. Wow, that's a perfectly mayonnaise. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to what kind of recipes I will use it in. I'll show you in the next video. Let's see now. I show you this dressing, this mayonnaise, this tahini mayonnaise. You see, that's the texture. Isn't that nice? I could even blend it one more time, but the flavor is really, really absolutely divine. Yeah, wonderful curry mayonnaise. Ah, I'm looking forward to the next recipe. And now I have a little staple here. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. Tell me how you feel about it. Try, make a little adjustment to your taste buds. You know, a little bit less, a little bit more. What more? Maybe onion powder or something would be very nice here, could I imagine, or a little bit pepper or so. Whatever, many options. Try. Thanks for watching. And if you like my video, subscribe and being on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.